What's up, everybody? Jordan Stewart here from Vover. Thanks so much for tapping into the Vover Original Show. Just a reminder that if you want to drop your opinions about the episode or respond to the host and guests with your voice, go and download the Vover app wherever you get your apps. Vover, voice over everything. Enjoyed the show.
What's up, guys? Welcome into the Vover WNBA show. I'm your host, Justine Brown, checking in with you on a Monday. And for starters in WNBA news, congrats to the 2020 WNBA champion Seattle Storm, who are at the White House today being honored by President Biden. They are having their celebration there today, as it has been held off thus far due to COVID. And they were in D.C. yesterday to play the Mystics. And for a quick recap on the two games played yesterday, the Storm defeated the Mystics 85-78 in Washington, D.C., but the biggest news of that game may have been former WNBA MVP Elena Delle Donne making her way back onto the court for her first game since October 2019. She's had 2 surgeries since the 2019 championship that the Mystics won. She missed the bubble season and she has missed most of this season, but she came back last night. She looked good. She had 16 points in 22 minutes, and it's good to have Elena Delle Donne back playing. The league is better with her. The game is better with her. She's one of the greatest playing it right now. And so it was nice to see Elena back on the court. Like I said, though, they were not able to get the win. The Seattle Storm had a balanced attack led by Brianna Stewart with 20 points and 12 rebounds. And the rest of the starting lineup, Samuelson had 10, Russell had 14, Bird had 8, Lloyd had 8. And it was just kind of a balanced attack. But Elena Delle Donne had 16. Tina Giles had her regular 20 again, 20 and 9. And, I'm not sure if there's still time for Washington to right the ship this season, but I'm sure they're going to give it a valiant effort. We are about 1/3 from being done with the season. Most teams have about 9-10 games left. And right now, 4 teams out of the playoffs would be Dallas, Washington, Atlanta, and Indiana, with LA and New York clinging on. They're both 7 games back in the 7th and 8th spot, and they played yesterday as well. That win went to the Sparks 86-83 in New York and played with no fans due to the hurricane, no media. But at this point, both of those teams need every win they can get, with Dallas standing on their heels for that 8th spot. Like I said, those 2 teams are 7 games back, with Dallas at 7.5 games back. So both New York and LA need these wins. LA needed that win against New York to stay in this position. New York actually broke a franchise record yesterday for threes, hitting 16, but unfortunately they had 22 turnovers to go with those threes, so they were not able to pull off a win at home. Looking a little closer at the current WNBA standings, it is definitely a logjam up at the top, with Connecticut in first place, Las Vegas in second place, and Seattle in third place right now. No games back. Followed by Minnesota, 3 games back. Phoenix, 4 games back. Chicago, who slid to 6 games back. And then New York and LA at 7 games back. So there's a bit of a jam at the bottom, and there's a bit of the jam at the top, with really only Dallas knocking on the door unless Washington can really pull some things together in these next few games. But we are looking at playoff pushes right now with, like I said, about a third of the season left to play. In other news, the trade deadline also hit this weekend with no trades made. So the rosters will remain as is outside of signings, but there were no trades made before the trade deadline. As always, we have a full slate of games tomorrow, Tuesday night. The Sparks will play at the Mystics. The Storm will play at the Lynx. The Sky will be at the Dream, and the Aces will be at the Connecticut Sun. That Storm versus Lynx game and that Aces versus Suns game are both going to be big games. The Lynx could use this victory. Aces and Sun, they're both at the top, fighting for that top spot. So, this is a potential playoff matchup. This is 2 of the top teams in the league. That one's going to be on ESPN3. The other games can also be caught on ESPN3 or ESPN2 tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, the Mercury will take on the Liberty on NBA TV. This has been your Vover WNBA show on this fine Monday. I'm your host, Justine Brown, and we'll talk to you guys next week.